I'd like to call to order the Village of Westmont Board meeting of August 16th, 2018, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for roll call, please.
Mayor Gunther.
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Addington's absent tonight. Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Barry.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Nero is absent. Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Village Manager May.
Here.
Finance Director Parker.
Here. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. And again, we'll start off after the pledge an open forum. And this is an opportunity for anybody who wants to comment to the board about something that's not on the agenda. Now's the time. So I do have one request. We've got Robert McKennis, 125 West Chicago Avenue, and it's about the recapture agreement. So come on up to the podium.
Good evening, everybody.
Evening.
First, I'll introduce myself. My name is Bob McKennis. I've been a resident of this town since 1969. I moved here with my parents, and so it's nearly 50 years ago. As time went on, I raised a family here, and I built my own house here in Westmont, and I still presently live here, and I plan to stay here. I'm not going nowhere. And I do love Westmont. I've been here a long time. I plan to stay here for a long time to come. I worked for the fire department for 26 years, and I've seen a lot of faces I knew, so it's nice to see some of these guys. Now I'm nearly a senior citizen, and time's going by, and I need to get something done here. That's why I'm here today. I have a major problem that's hit me a long time ago. So right now, you guys got to put yourself, be in my shoes, and if this happened to you, what would you do? So this is what's happening. Early 2016. I tried to sell my property. It was inherited to me from my father. He passed away in 2014. And apparently, unaware of it, during the sale to a builder, a lien popped up on there. Back then it was $126,000 plus so much in interest. Today it's nearly $170,000 and growing. It keeps on going up at 4% per year. My dad did not know about this. He was unaware of it for 3 or 4 years roughly. And never was anything was said to us. And I found this out through the builder, and when it came to the closing time with the attorneys and so forth. The lien has now become insurmountable, and to the builders, and to all the buyers, the people who come to the house, and it's been going on for years, and I cannot sell the house. It's becoming it's a psychological barrier to everybody. It's terrible what I'm going through. If it was you, what would you do? It's terrible. But anyway, I've gone through a lot of builders. I've got them listed here: McNaughton, Honer, Chestnut, Emerald, Beecham Dill, Cambridge, North Shore, DRD, and there's other ones, but this is just a few I threw in there. They're big ones that I know. It's still sitting vacant for 3 years, going on 3 years, and it's cost me over $10,000 to keep a vacant house there and to keep it maintained, and keep it in good shape. Trying to still sell it, and it doesn't work. I tried to work this out with the village manager and a lawyer, and I'm not getting any satisfaction there. So with pressure of my family, my friends, and there's many other issues and factors and sources that pushed me the court way. I didn't want to go that way, but I was kind of forced in that direction. They had no other choice. And hopefully, anyway, it became a disappointing outcome, what happened. I lost and you guys won. Anyway, that's what I did for the last 2 years, and it's growing. It's over with, basically, the court. Anyway, like I said, you have to put yourself in my shoes, and what would you have done? I enclosed some documents and exhibits and all the different pages in this pamphlet. It kind of explains why, what kind of pushed me to this level. I'm hoping, I get some satisfaction out of this. I hope, what happens, I don't know. Do I have to come back next meeting? You guys will call me, contact me. I'd be willing to sit down, reconsider, But to work something out, because I just can't handle this anymore. There's things I don't want to do, but anyway, I'm hoping there's a peaceful resolution to this, and we get through this and get it over with, and it's a happy ending, and I can put this aside and forget about it. It'd be history, and I'd love to see this end and get it done. And it'd be a benefit for you guys, if it's, right now, it's no benefit to me, it's no benefit to you, and I can get, 5 nice houses built there with income, taxes, whatever. It'd benefit you guys greatly if we can get this over with. Well, anyway, thank you for your time, consideration, and good luck. I hope things work out for myself and you guys.
Thank you. And I just ask the attorney just to maybe make a comment on this, and then,
Well, I think it's a well-put-together request with a lot of the relevant information. There were discussions prior to a lawsuit being filed about a way to resolve this with Mr. McKennis and his attorney, and those attempts by the village were rejected, turned into years of litigation, which the village ended up prevailing on. The request was conveyed to the village manager to try and work something out after Mr. McKennis was unsuccessful in the litigation. That initial request was rejected, but I think it's fair to, again, in light of this request, reconsider what you're offering and see if the village can do something.
I hope so. Appreciate you people, everybody. I hope it really works out well. I hope, make a great decision
thank
here.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Seeing no other open forum requests, I'll close open forum, move on to reports. My report's first, and I think on behalf of the entire board and staff, I want to welcome Linda Little here tonight after the loss of her husband, deeply saddened. But it's good to see you here and back on the streets with your orange shirt on,
Absolutely.
volunteering. So on behalf of the entire board, welcome back. And I'd like to call Larry McIntyre up to the podium to talk about a couple subjects, Sister City and then the high school homecoming parade.
Thank you, Mayor and Village Board. A few updates. First, regarding Sister City, as we had mentioned, I think at the last meeting, and at that point we had just learned about this opportunity, but Magistrate Chu and our Sister City community, Shinshu County, has made a gracious invitation to different parties regarding an economic development delegation heading back to Shinshu in late September. And it looks like there's an opportunity for members of the village to participate. When they were here last time, we had a great time and lots of exciting things happened, but we had let them know that we had pretty much exhausted our budget and that we weren't able to afford any sort of trips where we were taking a hold of the expenses. And with that in mind, plus their interest in economic development, they are putting together the package in which they are going to be the host and sponsor for this particular trip. So we're still working on the details of who's going, but it looks like at the moment, tentatively, 2 people from Chicago Prostate Cancer Center will be going. A couple people from a biomedical recycling waste facility will be going. And then they're looking for representation from the village. Specific, when I say the village, I mean community. And so it looks like Kevin Carey from the school district will be going, and that's an important reach out because we're going to be sending our first students to Taiwan next spring, and so Kevin Carey will be going, and then also Bob Fleck has confirmed as well, and he's wearing 2 hats, Park District and also Lions Club. We're looking at some other people as well, and so anyway, more details about that will be coming real soon, but it's sort of exciting to see this economic development aspect of our Sister City relationship panning out.
Thank you.
And next
Want to talk about the high school parade, homecoming parade?
Sure. So this year, the Westmont High School Parade is a little bit earlier than usual. It's going to be Thursday, September 13th. I think I did confirm that the start time of the parade is 6 p.m. We have a village board meeting that night at 6 p.m., but someone had suggested that maybe, if the village board was so inclined, possibly either attend or participate in the parade. Village staff will be having a meeting with Westmont High School next week to talk about all the details of the parade, and we're going to be reaching out a little bit more than we have in the past to make this parade a bigger event. And so I guess we're looking for feedback if the village board would be interested. Of course, that would probably necessitate starting the meeting a half hour later or something like that, but. Should
I
I
think
ask?
Steve could probably send out an email to ask the board to think about it. It's food for thought right now.
Very good. And our meeting, staff's meeting with high school is next Tuesday, and so if we could possibly get feedback by then we can kind of let them know what our perspective will be in terms of involvement. Final part regarding Sister City. Yesterday, we had 10 students, college students from Taiwan come to visit. Mayor, manager Larry Forsberg, Tom Mulhern, Kevin Carey and myself, all welcome them here to Village Hall, and it's always fun to entertain these folks. They really appreciate the welcome, and after they were here, they went over and got a tour of the Muddy Waters Museum as well. So, and that's all we have at the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one last item, which everybody will be getting information on, but September the 12th, on that Wednesday at, I believe, 5 p.m., Burness Park, which is on 57th and South Wilmette, will be dedicated. If you've driven by there, it's a beautiful concept with a fishing pier overlooking the pond, a trail. So put that on your calendars. They're going to dedicate and have a grand opening on that day. So
You know the time, or?
5 o'clock. But they're going to come out with an official invitation. So that's all I have. I'll go to Clerk Simsky.
Welcome back, Linda. We glad to see you back here with us as quickly as you could. Secondly, I just want to remind everybody, we have 3 cruising nights left, counting tonight. So turn off your TVs. Get out there. The weather's holding. Enjoy it before it all ends. It ends too soon. We only have 3 more. So please go out and enjoy the evening.
Thank you. We'll go over to Trustee Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I'm going to combine Trustee Addington's update with mine. They kind of run together. The BMW redevelopment is moving along. I think a lot of us have seen the progress there. It's really looking amazing. They've had a couple snafus with the utility line, which has changed some of the landscaping, but the staff is working with them to do the improvements along the west property line. The 2020 census, staff completed a comprehensive address update as requested by the Census Bureau in preparation for the upcoming census, and the updated included a check of 5,800 addresses with 1,100 corrections. So everyone will be seeing that coming in 2020. Also 700 Oakmont Circle, which was the former Rockwell International site. We had a project that was presented, but then that was abandoned. That has now been resurrected by the Ryan companies, and the project will consist of reconfiguration, consolidation of the existing buildings, and initially house 3 or 4 major tenants. The site plan and renderings will be presented to the Economic Development Commission at its September 5th meeting, which is a good segue to our next meeting is September 5th at EDC. We meet right next door in the room next door. But exciting, and we have Danielle with us tonight from the Sweet and Savory spot, and she's going to talk about her ribbon cutting, which is tomorrow at 4:30. So if you want to come up, Danielle, and give us a commercial.
Hello, thank you for having me again. So as I keep calling it, Spot 2.0, we are back. And tomorrow is our ribbon cutting. And just a little bit more about us, we have brought back all the original things that everyone kind of got used to the first time around. We've added some things, changed some things. We have a plan for hopefully applying to get beer and wine back at our establishment, as well as adding more coffee and things like that. I'm still doing the custom catering on the side, but I do have to stress that we have amazing burgers and everything else. I know the sweet comes first, and I like to think that I run things, but there is a savory portion too. Still selling out of cinnamon rolls and everything like that. I currently cannot keep up fast enough, but those are good problems to have, and we're looking forward to having everyone tomorrow, whoever can make it. I know it's a Friday, but we're going to do things how we usually do, big, and we're hoping that everyone just feels comfortable and enjoys themselves, because that's what we do. It's good to be back again, and I can't thank everybody. We've had a warm welcoming. We have people that come 5, 6 times a week, and it has actually become their regular spot. So I couldn't ask for anything more. And just thank you very much. If
And
anybody
where
has
are you
any-
located?
I am located at 15 South Cass. Google likes to say we're at Quincy, but I am on the corner, so either way you find me. We're trying to get that fixed. It's nice having the corner spot. Parking is great, and we're kind of easily seen, but we are going to add some things, per everyone that comes in. There's always our suggestion box that I love, and we're very approachable with that. But I want to add some things to our windows that people actually know a little bit more about what we do, and to kind of make things a little bit brighter so you can see just a little bit more what we have to offer. So we are on the south side. I do see the north side, south side. My commute now is 25 minutes when it was 5 because of that train, but that's okay. I'm getting used to it. But it's nice to just be by the train and people walk by and everything like that, so.
That's 4:30 tomorrow, right?
4:30, and then I believe the actual cutting is at 4:45. And then we're gonna have refreshments, food, our kitchen will be open too in case anybody wants anything else, and we're just gonna make a night of it. So, thank
We're
you.
glad to have you back. And
Thank
it's
you.
such a bright spot
And
downtown.
I wore my best vanilla shirt for you, I apologize.
Well, thank you,
Thank
Danielle.
you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's
She
all I
didn't
have
say the
today.
old Brown's Chicken spot. Well,
I
she's too
wanted
young.
to. I wanted to say the old Brown's chicken.
All my families, I can own that for 10 years, it'll still be Brown's Chicken.
That's right.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks.
Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Guzzo.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a Public Safety Committee meeting tonight, and before I invite both chiefs up to talk, I want to do my quarterly public service announcement. Saturday, going southbound on Cass, ambulance coming northbound on Cass. Remember, move to the right for sirens and lights. I cannot tell you how frustrating it was to see one of our ambulances trying to get north, and people just, I don't know if they ignore it, they don't pay attention to it, but please, I cannot stress this enough. When you see an emergency vehicle, pull to the right. So that's my public service announcement. Thank you. Now I'd like to call up the fire department first, or Chief D.C. Riley.
Thank you, Trustee Guzzo. I couldn't agree with you more with the siren and lights. First of all, the 95th celebration continues. The committee continues to work hard and promote the open house on Saturday, October 13th at the Frank Johannick Headquarters Fire Station located at 6015 South Cass. The celebration will be 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, October 13th. Members continue to hand out save the date cards down at the cruising nights. We have our bike medics along with Sparky the fire dog and other members handing out those cards. And we're also working on a special surprise for open house October 13th. So can't give too much away or I'll get in trouble. So stay tuned for that. Just want to recap fire truck night. I'd like to thank all the members of the fire department, 12 volunteers from the EMA, Westmont Special Events, and all the volunteers who helped make this a huge success. We had 25 fire trucks that attended the fire department cruising nights, along with 42 total vehicles that participated in the rain or in the parade. And we had to shorten it and get the parade going quickly due to the severe weather that was approaching. So, and also thanks to Trustee Little for leading the charge on following through on the fire department retiree float. We had 14 retirees that attended, 8 jumped on that float. A few other retirees jumped on the back of some antique fire engines, and there was nothing but great comments made for the retirees and the signs, so thank you for that. The Patriot Day ceremony is still scheduled for September 11th at the police fire facility. That should be at 6:30 p.m. on that night. And a couple other things here I want to show. We are seeking out EMA volunteers. If you're interested in becoming an EMA, look at the village website for a press release. We are certainly looking forward to bringing more EMA volunteers and people that want to be part of the fire department. So see the village website for more information. And the Senior Car Care Clinic is on Saturday, September 29th, again at the Frank Johannick Headquarters Station and we'll get you the times on that. And if I could just, Trustee Guzzo, show a couple pictures from the fire truck night.
You have to do this with your finger.
If you look at these two adorable children in their fire hats, obviously having a great time down at fire truck night. Here's another one that takes a picture in the fireman costume. And then the last one is, here's one of our fire inspectors, Neil Berkowitz, talking about Sparky the fire truck, or Freddie the fire truck, excuse me, to some of the children. So again, we had a great turnout. Everybody enjoyed it, and unfortunately, due to the severe weather that was approaching, we had to cut it short. But once again, another village success for everybody involved. And Mayor and Manager, we appreciate your support for all this also. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief?
Thank you, Trustee Guzzo. A couple of events I'd like to talk about quickly. We are currently taking applications for our next Westmont Police Department Citizens Police Academy. It is a 9-week program starting September 26th, and we will cover topics such as traffic stop night, death investigations, SWAT, community policing and contemporary issues, role-playing with simunitions, and a firearms night, which is usually the most popular night, and we kind of put that toward the back because we make attendance mandatory for the first 8 weeks. So we are taking applications. They are available on the village website under the police department tab, and we will look forward to a good turnout. We keep making that better and better. The officers put all the presentations together. They put their heart and souls into them, and we're very, very pleased with the types of relationships that we build with the community through that program. One other note, we will be participating in the first, or the inaugural Mothers Against Drunk Driving Saturation Saturday, which will be on Saturday, August 25th. We will increase the patrol division by 3 officers who will work doing strictly nothing but interdicting intoxicated motorists. So that will be Saturday night, August 25th. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. In addition to what was just brought up, I also want to mention there is going to be a payment box installed at the police department at 500 North Cass for water bills, et cetera, similar to what we have down here at the train station. So that should be up and functioning by the end of the month. And then our next Public Safety Committee meeting is going to be October 25th. We had a fairly lengthy agenda. We covered quite a bit of it. So Mayor, I am done for the
All
evening.
right, thank you. I'll move to this side. Trustee Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick items. Monday night is Westmont First meeting. It's August 20th at 6 p.m. at the library. And then the Environmental Improvement Committee is down, involved in the street fair again this evening. They're promoting a rain barrel raffle to promote the use of rain barrels, but to support Richmond Education Gardens and Apiary. And that's going very well. And then another project that we're working on is, we think that'll be pretty popular in town, is a bulb recycling event with a piece of equipment that the village purchased a few months back called a bulb eater. And it will take care of fluorescent lights safely. And we're going to collect those.
Separates out the materials. It's fascinating.
We're going to provide that to the community in conjunction with the police department recycling event, so that we'll be up there, the EIC will be up there promoting that as well. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Little.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of Trustee Nero, I'd like to make note that the next Public Works Committee meeting will be held Thursday, August 30th at 4:30 in this room. Everyone's invited to attend. And then moving on to my reports, the Administration Finance Committee meeting in September will be on the 13th at 4:30 in this room, and everyone's invited. Communications had a couple of FYIs for everyone to note. TV production coming to town, it's already here. It started this Tuesday and it runs through next Wednesday. It's called Garage Squad, a TV show in which people refurbish their old classic cars. They're on East 57th Street, so pop over, and sorry if they're causing a lot of commotion with traffic jam, but it's pretty nice to be noted there, so grin and bear it. Next FYI is there is a video production at the Chicago Prostate Cancer Center. This was highlighting their cutting-edge technology regarding prostate cancer treatment. So if you take a look at that. Social media is working. In 1 week period in which the city promoted National Night Out, community garage sales, and the new economic development projects, there were 14,500 people reached and 2,700 engagements, direct interactions, which average more than 1,500 views per day, peak hours being 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Taste of Westmont, we have a community survey. We're really anxious to find out what people thought of it. So if you please, we've only got 135 people that responded, and I did probably half of them. So I need people to reach out and respond in your own words. If you would go to our website and check out the community survey for the Taste of Westmont, I personally would appreciate that. The Prostate Cancer Foundation of Chicago 8th Annual Walk and Run for Prostate Cancer Awareness will be held September 9th. Please go to their website and sign up now. The Wicked West Fest. It's sitting on the, it'll pop up on the screen. It includes the Trick or Treat Trail, the Wicked West Fest Costume Contest, Pumpkin Smashing Extravaganza, casket races, and more. Will be held Saturday, October the 20th. It's from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. So come on out to Cass Avenue one more time and enjoy the fun. We also are promoting through the special events the Zombie Crawl, which we had a lot of fun doing the last one, and so we decided to do it better this time. October the 27th from 2 to 6 p.m. The details will be coming out soon, and there's a lot of businesses that want to participate, so this year we've doubled the number of restaurant participation. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Moving on the agenda, items to be removed from the consent agenda. Any board members see anything they'd like removed? If not, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
First, on the consent agenda this evening are village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held August 2nd, 2018. There are also executive session minutes. Board to consider a motion to accept and approve the release of the executive session minutes. The Illinois Open Meetings Act requires that the village board periodically review to accept, approve, and/or release executive session minutes, either in whole or in part. I'm not going to read the whole list. There's 31 dates on there, with the exceptions noted if portions of that date are not to be released. But they're published on the agenda. The next is finance ordinance number 8 in the amount of $1,461,426.83. And we have 4 purchase orders. First purchase order, Atlas Bobcat, $20,398. It's for a replacement Bobcat with there's 3 winter attachments with that, a brush, a plow, and a snow box. The next purchase order, the next 3 purchase orders are purchase orders that accompany construction agreements that were previously approved. First is John Neary Construction, $738,498. That's for the construction services related to the Burlington, Roslyn, West End storm water improvements. Next is Austin Tyler Construction Incorporated, $956,833.66. It's for the also stormwater management improvements about to begin on the 400 block of North Warwick. And the fourth one is Copenhaver Construction, $1,872,981.08. Also a stormwater management project. This one's at 6101 South Cass. And just a feature of that's actually funded out of 2 different budget accounts for the same one project. One is the stormwater bond fund, and the other is it's a related TIF improvement. Total of the purchase orders is $3,558,709.74. Brings the total of purchase orders with finance ordinance number 8 to $5,050,136.57. That concludes the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion to approve as presented?
Motion to approve, Little.
Second, Barker.
Motion made and second. On the question. Anybody? Seeing none, I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. A, award of bid proposal for the Central Business District Alley Reconstruction Section E project. Board to consider an ordinance accepting the bid proposal from A Lamp Concrete Contractors Incorporated for the village's Central Business District Alley Reconstruction Section E project and authorizing a contract consistent with the bid documents. Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. The village accepted bid proposals from 4 contractors for the CBD Alley Reconstruction Section E project. The low bidder was A-Lamp Concrete Construction Contractors with a low bid of $619,374.75. This was less than 1% below the engineering estimate of $624,803. We recommend awarding A-Lamp the contract. We have worked with A-Lamp in the past. They're a very good contractor. They're a large contractor, so they should do a really good job. This is one of the few times, though, I can honestly say that we opened up the bids and the lowest bid was really close to the engineering estimate. Usually there's a little bit of a gap, but it was pretty, you know, how, I couldn't believe how close it was. It was really interesting how close the actual bid was.
Can you tell us Section E?
Section E is between, obviously Alpha Cast, but it's between Norfolk and London. It's it's going to start behind the Bank of America and go all the way down to London, behind the Toons Funeral Home.
Good. Do I have a motion?
So move Guzzo?
Second, Little?
Motion been made and second to approve. On the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business B, an engineering agreement for the Central Business District Alley Reconstruction Section E project. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing an engineering agreement with Thomas Engineering Group for Phase 3 construction, inspection, engineering, and material testing services on the Central Business District Alley Reconstruction Section E project. And Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. We request the approval of a sum of $72,896.64 for this Phase 3 construction, inspection, engineering, and materials testing services for the Village CBD Alley Reconstruction Section E project. We have used Thomas Engineering for the other 2 projects for the alley, and we've all witnessed they've done an outstanding job. I think the alleys look
They did the
amazing.
design.
They did the design, right, and the construction engineering and all of that for all the other 2 projects. So they've done an outstanding job with us, and we're very happy with working with them.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Barker.
Motion been made and second to approve. On the question. Trustee Barry.
When would you, I guess, project that construction would start then?
As soon as NICOR is done with the alley, they're going in and doing all the replacement of the water main, or the gas main first. So they're going to get through, put all new gas main in, and then we're going to start. We're going to start direct pretty quickly afterwards.
Okay.
The goal is to be completely done before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the other alleys that NICOR's been working on, the patches are beyond rough, and
Right.
I've talked to NICOR, and they said that they kind of passed the buck, that's a separate contractor, and then, you know, so I know we had talked before about maybe postponing some alleys and so forth, but I just want to hope that we keep moving forward with them, because now after these NICOR projects, it went from bad to worse, it seems like, so.
Yeah, I've talked to them a couple times, and what they're going to do is do a mass restoration, whether it's blacktop, concrete, the brickwork in the alley. They have one contractor or a couple contractors will come out and just do it all at one time. We told them that we wanted it done before the winter, obviously. Sooner the better. Some of the sod and obviously the seed work that they have to do is going to have to wait a little longer because it's been so hot and dry. But we told them we could go ahead and start the concrete restoration. Some of the sidewalk squares they have to replace. But we're on top of it. We are keeping on them. I know, Ally, you're talking about, and that's something I'm very unhappy with. That's something they should have restored a long time ago, and we're still waiting, and it's frustrating dealing with them. But unfortunately,
you know.
They
we
tell you to
collect-
call the 800 number on the top of your bill. And
Yeah, yeah, and we do, and it, you know, we actually have a representative, and they've been working closely with us to try to get this resolved as quickly as possible.
Does that include all the other work NICAR's doing in town?
Yes.
The holes that are left
Yep,
open?
exactly. They're gonna restore all of it. Well, the representative I've talked to, that's our village representative, has given me his word that they will restore all of it before winter time.
Okay.
Mike, we'd have to pay real close attention to the brickwork. as
Yes.
That's restored in those
Yes.
alleys, so that it goes back exactly right.
Correct. And unfortunately, you know, with dealing with independent companies like Nicor, ComEd, and, you know, AT&T, we're at the mercy of when they can schedule everything. You know, it's not like the village can do it. I wish we could, but, you know, we have to wait on them.
They moved real fast to open the holes. Now we-
Yes, they do.
Real fast.
Yes, they do.
So, any other comments, question? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Barry,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
New business C, Westmont Park District, permit fee waiver. Board to consider an ordinance to waive a certain portion of the building permit fee amount as prescribed in section 18-487 of the Westmont Municipal Code for the project to be constructed on a parcel owned by the Westmont Park District located at 660 Blackhawk Drive. Manager May.
Mayor, this, the permit fee waiver is just for one specific permit fee. I passed out earlier, there's a chart with the draft calculation of which fees are to be assessed to that project. I kind of regret the title of the item. It's not physically the Westmont Park District asking for this, but the project is a true public-private partnership. It's a public-public-private partnership because the Village of Westmont, the Westmont Park District, you know, together with that development. All the fees on there are related to, in one way or another, costs that we incur, whether do we review them or inspect them, and those are all valid and are still to be charged. The top line item is it's just called building fee, with the 1.5%, and being the investment in an $18 million project is a large number, $270,000. That is not our costs to do the review. That is the following lines, the $54,000, and those are still valid out of pocket and to be recouped. So the request is just out of all the ones on that list, just the $270,000 building fee.
And that's been consistent through the years. We've waived that for the Park District because this is still their property.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, and we're talking about the natatorium.
And it's part of, you have the other agreement, there's a lot of parts and all of it added together. This is just the last piece.
Do I have a motion to waive the fee?
Motion to waive the fee?
Second, Guzzo.
Motion been made and seconded. On the question. Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Barry,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D, independent contractor agreement. Board to consider approving an ordinance approving an independent contractor agreement with Ellen Golato for graphic, web design, social media, and communications related services as described in the agreement. Manager May.
Mayor, this is an employment agreement for essentially a contractor. It is not an employee. We do have in our communications department the work that is done in there. This is something we were going to bring to you anyway as far as services on an as-needed basis. The contract is just to set the terms so that when we do use the person, those are already predefined and you don't have a purchase order or an agreement each time. So this is to set that agreement with that relationship. We also do have an immediate need. Allison left us recently in communication, so this will be taken advantage of quickly. And then after that point, as that position is replaced or reorganized, this will go further back down into the more of as needed. And it's all budgeted as well, but there's kind of just two aspects to it.
And there's no minimum hours, it's as needed.
Right, just as, and that has to, besides the communication director, but through, my office as far as what that amount will be.
Do I have a motion for the independent contractor agreement?
Motion to approve?
Second, Parker.
Motion been made and second to approve. On the question. Trustee Barry.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I noticed, is this a Westmont business or is this a Westmont contractor? Because I noticed we have other businesses in town that do this, and I know one in particular that's really participated with the Taste of Westmont and so forth.
The, I can't tell you I know the, the residents, yeah, Larry will know, but it's also someone that is currently being used, I think, both by Westmont Special Events Corp. And the Westmont Park District.
Right.
So a familiar person.
Absolutely, thank you. Ellen is a Westmont resident. She's a sole proprietor, so she's an independent contractor. She's not a LLC or anything like that. The other thing, the way that she came to us and the reason we felt she was going to be a great immediate fit, as you recall, we approved the agreement with Westmont Special Events to hire part-time staff to assist WSEC with their events and so forth. Ellen was one of those people who was hired to assist with those things, and then it became immediately, well, we actually already knew this, but we started utilizing her graphic design background, and so if you saw an increase in a whole bunch of graphic design things over the summer on social media and different things, Ellen was the driving force behind a lot of that. And so, so with this current opportunity, she was a very smart choice.
So did we get competitive bids from other Westmont businesses?
We did not take this out as an RFP.
And hopefully it's short-term, because you're going to publicize the position. Yes, no?
I'm not sure, but I don't think that was the intent. The intent was that this, with Allison vacating the role, she moved on to another position that was a better fit for her. And so this is part of the solution in terms of fulfilling those types of duties that Allison was working on.
But I meant, are you replacing Allison?
That's what I meant when I said like
Yeah.
restructure, in some form, that position is, whether it's, first thing we do when we have an opening is look at the position and see if it needs reorganizational opportunities first, and then find internal fits, and then go from there. And at the same time, there's a hiring going on in the finance department, so we're all trying to see if there's a way to balance that and bring on one person that can handle both, or free up someone else to do it.
Additional,
I just wanted to say, when it's professional services too, you don't bid those on
Well, it's just,
I mean, you can go out for requests for qualifications, but you can't shop by,
the unfortunate thing is that we have small businesses in town that we try to promote that pay a lot extra for fire protection, for cable, for everything, business licenses. So when we use somebody, even though they're just a resident here, and their business is out of their home with no business license, it doesn't seem very fair to me. Okay, when we have, an outfit right on Cass Avenue that's on the back of the Taste of Westmont shirts and things like that, where they're participating and they're not even given a chance to bid this. Again, as a guy who pays a lot of those fees, some of these things,
Right.
kind of
so let me,
my back here.
let me add in, to agree with that, and there's nothing, this agreement doesn't say you will get this amount of work or anything like that. It's to be able to access that person when it's needed, and we can do that. We can have 20 agreements for those types of services, as we want to use them too. So we'd be glad to look at these other opportunities and establish those relationships so that they're available when needed.
that's a good point. So there's no time limit on this. If we find somebody
No.
that could replace this, okay, in town. Yes.
I had a quick question. So we're not replacing Allison with Ellen. It's merely replacing some of Allison's duties by Ellen as a contractual basis and not hiring Ellen until such time as we need to hire another person if we do.
Yes, half that, and the other half was, I mentioned we would be wanting to do this anyway so that we had access to that resource.
Okay.
And if someone else is hired, this is not an application for that position, but for today, it's an immediate resource that we can use because the vacancy is new. So that relationship will be smaller later. But
As I understand, it's pretty quick. You have to get it done. You've got a lot of stuff sitting there, and you can't wait.
we can do anything, but it's difficult if we,
It's hard to wait.
without the help,
How's
yes.
that?
And again, I think Trustee Barry, I think everybody, I totally agree. I know Westmont First would agree. Anytime we can contract with our local businesses, it's good. It's always good. But maybe in this case, we could still do that down the road, but this gives us immediate, somebody come in immediately who's familiar with the community and get some things done. Any motion, huh? I haven't had a motion. Can I have a We do.
Yes, we do.
We've been talking. Any additional comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
No.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
I got to vote. Yes.
Mayor Gunter.
Yes. Well, that's only the second time I have to vote. Moving on. New business E. Temporary Class 7 liquor license. Board to consider an ordinance approving the liquor commissioner's issuance of a temporary Class 7 liquor license to PHOBH Hotel Owner LLC, 3500 Midwest Road, Oak Brook, because it's a mailing address, Illinois. And we've got Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just going to correct that. Yeah, they are for sure in Westmont. It's just a mailing address, and that's an official thing. Due to a change in the ownership and management company, a temporary liquor license issuance is required to allow for the uninterrupted sale and service of alcohol for a 90-day period. A formal background check will be conducted before the issuance of a permanent license to PHOBH Hotel Owner LLC is required. Since there was a change in the corporate name and some change in ownership, as well as the state sales tax, a new liquor license is required in order to allow for the resort to be able to continue serving alcohol uninterrupted. We're requesting the board to approve the mayor's issuance of a temporary liquor license. The changes took place as of this morning, so we're asking the board to approve that so that they can continue servicing. The temporary liquor license is good for only 90 days, and I have received the application and the associated fees for a full liquor license as well as a temporary liquor license. And that also is a 90-day time period, so they coincide. So sometime within the next 90 days, we will be back in front of you again for a permanent liquor license, but for right now, the temporary. And with me to explain any change questions the board may have is Stephen Ellington. Stephen is the general manager for the Hilton Oak Brook Hills Resort and Conference Center. Am I got it right? You got it right. Okay, thank you.
Before we ask you all the questions, we'll let you answer most of them.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me back. Pretty exciting. So we, as you may or may not know, the ownership of the resort was a partnership. We have a primary owner. That primary owner has chosen to, and this is a process, purchase the resort outright. And in that process also, we have brought in a new management company. So effective today, there is a new management company over the resort. Their name is Prospera. They're based out of Pittsburgh. That'll be transitional over the next, say, 12 to 24 hours, but they're working in partnership with Portfolio, which will be transitional going out of the resort. We're super excited about that. They're a very strong company, small company, but the ownership, which is KCB, which was the primary owners of the resort, will be transitioning to full ownership of the resort. As Mayor knows, that may take 30 to 45 days as they work these things out. It's a pretty large asset, as you know, and I don't have a dead timeline on that transaction, but it is extremely positive for the community. Our ownerships, KCB is very focused on keeping the resort as it is. Obviously we're an Audubon certified sanctuary. It's a beautiful place, as you all know, and we want to keep it that way, me being the most focused on that. I've always wanted that. But I haven't always had the voice to be able to voice that. So I think with this new partnership, it's very, very exciting. The owners are in full support of my remaining as part of the resort, which I want to be. And I just can't express to you enough how exciting it is I know Mayor shares this with what's going to be in the future. Obviously, we just finished what will be about $23 million in renovations at the resort. If you haven't had a chance to come over, it is amazing. We are full finished of phase 1 and phase 2. There are some property improvement PIP requirements with Hilton that'll probably total about another $2 million. So we'll be 24, 25 into the enhancements over the last 4 years, and there's obviously still more to come. The owners love the asset. Their commitment is they're long-term holders of real estate. So I don't think you're going to see, this is not a real estate move in a transaction like you see with a lot of hotels. They really want to, they want to build on this, they want to own this, and they really want me to continue to help the resort as being part of your community, which we're very proud to be. Community involvement will continue. Community activities at the resort hopefully will begin to enhance. Some of the shackles that have been upon me will hopefully be released and give me some freedom to be able to continue to grow that. So it's just a very exciting time. So any questions you have, I think that probably gave you a pretty good spectrum of where we're at.
We had an opportunity to meet with the, I don't know, principal owners of.
They will now be the principal owners, KCB, the Nell family, yes.
This afternoon. And one thing that I took that was very, very encouraging, they're buying the golf course. So now they're owning, not only the hotel, they're going to own the entire golf course, and they're going to keep the 18 holes.
That's correct.
So there's no plans right now for any development
That is correct.
on that parcel.
We want to just enhance what we have, utilize the capital money we have available to continue to obviously improve the guest experience, and we're just very, very excited about it.
Now, we haven't had any issues with your tent, and that's staying, right?
The tent is staying.
Okay.
I believe that we've been doing pretty good on the decibel meter reading.
Have been.
Doing our best. Yeah. I know we might get a few calls from that side of the room, but we've been trying to do very well with that. And the tent will stay. We do plan some enhancements to the tent, just to obviously constantly improve the asset. So
The only reason I ask is because it's been proposed something else months ago, so that's great.
that will not at this time. None of that is in any plan. There to be no major changes as of right now, as you heard today from the owners.
Well, do I have a motion to grant the temporary Class 7 liquor license?
Motion to approve temporary class liquor license. Little.
Second, Barker.
Motion been made and seconded. Additional comments or questions?
Just from talking to Tom, just for the public, so the machines will go away now with the change of the liquor license, is that?
And Stephen can probably expound on it more, but yes, it's my understanding the state does not have a temporary gaming license that they could issue. So I would imagine they have to turn their machines off and more than likely be removed. They're going to have to go through a brand-new application process with the new owners, with the state, and then additionally with us. And then I've been checking with the village attorney. It's our understanding that the Class 23 365-day waiting period, they will have to go to unless we have more discussions with them. The new owners, we're currently owners, and we need to delve more into that before we can move forward. But answer your question, yes, we believe that the state will require them to remove their machines.
And again, that occurs anywhere if somebody changes ownership.
We understand.
Yeah, the state is very restrictive. They are so want to be sure that they're issuing a gaming license to a reputable company. Their backgrounds, is what you went through, is very, very intensive. That's why they are not going to give a temporary license like we do, because they're just not going to give that privilege to someone they don't know.
So the state is somewhat similar to us. We have to have a new liquor license for change of ownership.
That as well, too.
Okay.
Yes, that's the state's requirement. That's why we're here tonight.
Good. Any additional comments?
I'd just like to say, I think that, you staying involved in that development up there, I think they made a smart move. Every time I've seen you, you've impressed me.
I appreciate that. It's an honor to be part of the community. I love being here, and my hope is to be with you for a long time. And this just really sort of, it's been an interesting ride, as you all know. So it's stability is going to be a very positive thing for us.
You've kept your enthusiasm, though. That's-
Yeah, no, I love being here, and community events will still be part of what we're doing. Still have a great New Year's, and still continue to push and have new and exciting things, and hopefully more. So it's going to be fantastic. And now we have owners that are they want to invest in the asset. and they really love it, so that's exciting.
Now, I'll echo Trustee Barker's comments. For staff perspective, Stephen, when he told me that he's going to be staying on during this process, he's been a great help and a pleasure to work with. And even in the past, I know going into the future, I'm very happy that he's staying because he's been a great asset to us.
And I think everybody heard me say this before. I was at some of you here probably was there, the opening of the hotel back in mid to late 80s.
87.
87, so 31 years. That the hotel back then was a big part of the community, and that was their goal, is to be part of the community, be active in the community, but somehow during the years it faded, and there was no involvement in the community. We lost touch, and they almost viewed themselves as what the address says, Oak Brook. And since you've taken over the past 4 years, it's back to where it was and then some, so congratulations. It's a great asset to have in our community.
Appreciate it.
Any
I
addition?
think we're all glad that you're going to stay.
Thank you. Me too.
I told him as be part of, that was going to be contingent on the issuance of the license. No license in 6 days, so.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Been approved, thank you. Moving on, is there any miscellaneous items that the board would like to, or anybody,
You have one visitor you haven't heard from tonight.
yes, would you like to address the board? Are you
It's not
in
often.
order, or you're doing a class project?
Oh, no, that's from Boy Scouts.
Oh, Boy Scouts.
great.
Oh, Eagle Scout?
Yes.
Oh,
How
great.
close?
We'd like to hear about it.
Why don't you come up and tell us real quick? I'm trying to stretch this till 7 o'clock. Give us your name and
My name is Stephen Mahalik, and I am currently a life scout for Boy Scouts, and that's the rank before Eagle. So I didn't expect to come up here, so I'm sorry if I'm nervous. But this is for a merit badge I'm doing. Actually, 2. It's citizenship in the community that I'm just starting in communications. So one of the requirements is take notes for a board meeting. We couldn't make it 2 weeks ago because that seemed more interesting with the construction, the apartments, but we had to come here, so for this meeting.
so the hotel wasn't that interesting.
No, it was. I wanted to go. It's just we couldn't make it, so
No,
I'm
it
here
would have
now.
been,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And what troop are you with?
Troop 6 in Westmont.
Okay,
so,
good. Good.
Westmont
And you
Mountain.
live in Westmont?
Yes.
Good. And we'll probably have you before us once you reach that Eagle status to congratulate you.
Okay. Thank you.
Mayor, I
Sure.
was
Yes.
also thinking we had a couple extra chairs here, so one day you'll fill one of
Yeah.
these.
I hope so. I love local government and
Good.
all that stuff. So.
Great.
Have you selected a project?
No, I'm thinking of doing something with my local shelter in Downers Grove, West Suburban. So see if they need something. But
Very good. Well, thank you.
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Stephen, before you leave, would you spell your last name for me?
Mahalik, Michalik.
Thank you.
Stephen, how old are you?
15.
15, so you're at Westmont High School?
Yes.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
in communications, Trustee Barry.
Yeah, I was thinking.
We have an opening.
Sorry.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Any other miscellaneous? Who didn't we hear from? I'll pick another person. No. Seeing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move Guzzo.
Second Little?
Motion been made and second to adjourn the meeting. Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Thank everyone. This meeting is adjourned.